Stefon Diggs shouts in distress after what happened to Cardi B. No one who was there that night will ever forget the sound of his voice. It wasn't the roar of a touchdown celebration. It wasn't the confident swagger fans were used to seeing. It was raw. Broken. Panicked. Stefon Diggs shouted in pure distress, his voice cracking through the chaos as everything around him seemed to freeze in time. The moment everything changed. The evening had started like any other, bright lights, buzzing phones, laughter echoing through the room. Cardi B, radiant and full of life, had been the center of attention as always. She was smiling, joking, being her unapologetically bold self. To the outside world, everything looked perfect. Then, without warning, something went terribly wrong. A sudden shift. A sharp gasp. A stumble no one expected. Within seconds, the room spiraled into confusion. Chairs scraped the floor. Voices overlapped. Someone screamed her name. And that's when Stefon Diggs lost all composure. Cardi. Look at me. Witnesses say Diggs rushed forward, his face drained of color as he dropped to his knees beside her. His hands were shaking. His breathing was uneven. The fearless athlete, known for his ice-cold focus under pressure, was suddenly helpless. He shouted her name again and again. Not for attention. Not for drama. But out of sheer terror. Stay with me. Please, stay with me. His voice echoed, loud and desperate, cutting through the noise like a siren. It wasn't anger. It wasn't frustration. It was fear. Real fear. Panic sets in. As people scrambled to call for help, Diggs refused to move. He shielded Cardi B with his body as if the world itself was a threat. Every second felt like an hour. Every shallow breath she took sent another wave of panic through him. Tears streamed down his face, unfiltered, unstoppable. Those who saw it said the pain in his eyes was haunting. This wasn't a headline. This wasn't gossip. This was a man watching someone he loved slip into danger right in front of him. The shout that silenced the room. Then it happened. As medical help rushed in and someone tried to pull him back, Diggs shouted, a sound so full of anguish that the entire room went silent. Don't touch her like that. She needs help, now. It wasn't about control. It was about desperation. For a moment, even the professionals paused, stunned by the intensity of his plea. The ride that felt like a lifetime. When Cardi B was finally taken away for urgent care, Diggs followed, refusing to leave her side. The car ride was filled with broken prayers, whispered promises, and shaking hands gripping hers as if letting go would mean losing her forever. He kept talking to her. About the future. About strength. About how she wasn't allowed to leave, not now, not ever. Aftermath, a man changed. Hours later, when the worst had passed and the immediate danger was under control, Diggs sat alone, head in his hands, completely drained. The shouting was gone. The adrenaline faded. What remained was exhaustion, and gratitude. Those close to him say that night changed him. He wasn't thinking about fame. He wasn't thinking about the spotlight. He was thinking about how close he came to losing someone who meant everything. Why this moment hit so hard? Fans are used to seeing Stefon Diggs dominate the field with confidence and fire. But what the world witnessed that night was something else entirely. A man stripped of ego. A heart exposed. A love so deep it turned fear into a scream. And that's why this moment still lingers. Because behind the headlines, behind the fame, there was a shout, not of anger, but of love, terror, and helpless devotion that no one who heard it will ever forget. The night everything changed, the world heard a sound no one expected to hear from a man known for control, intensity, and silence under pressure. It wasn't a touchdown roar. It wasn't competitive fire. It was pure distress. Stefon Diggs shouts in distress after what happened to Cardi B. The call came late. Too late for comfort, too sudden for preparation. Stefon Diggs was just stepping away from the noise, training, expectations, the never-ending public eye, when his phone vibrated with an urgency that made his chest tighten instantly. One look at the screen, and his world tilted. On the other end was a trembling voice. Rushed. Broken. Barely holding together. Something had happened to Cardi B. And it wasn't small. The moment panic took over. Witnesses later described Diggs as frozen for a split second, eyes locked, jaw clenched, breath gone. Then it happened. He shouted. Not words. Not sentences. Just raw sound, anguish ripping through him as reality crashed down all at once. The kind of shout that comes when fear outruns logic, when love collides with helplessness. People nearby stopped dead in their tracks. This wasn't an athlete reacting to a loss. This was a man reacting to the possibility of losing someone he couldn't imagine life without. What happened to Cardi B? Details leaked slowly, piece by piece, wrapped in whispers and frantic speculation. What was confirmed was enough to send shockwaves. A sudden incident. Emergency response. Chaos, confusion, and unanswered questions. Cardi B visibly shaken, physically and emotionally affected. No staged cameras. No scripted drama. Just real fear. Those close to the situation said Cardi B had been overwhelmed, pushed to a breaking point after carrying the weight of expectations, pressure, and non-stop scrutiny. The moment it all hit her at once, her body followed her emotions. And when Diggs heard what she had gone through, he broke. The shout heard around the room. He kept saying her name, one insider revealed. Over and over. Loud. Like he was trying to reach her with his voice. That shout wasn't anger. It wasn't frustration. It was terror. The kind that only comes when someone you love is hurting and you're not there yet. When distance feels cruel. When seconds feel like hours. Diggs. Paced. Hands shaking. Voice cracking. Every instinct in him screamed, get to her now. When strength isn't enough. For years, Stefon Diggs had built an image of resilience, unshakable, intense, disciplined. But that night stripped all of it away. Because strength doesn't protect you from fear. Fame doesn't soften panic. Money doesn't calm your heart when someone you love is in trouble. He wasn't an NFL star in that moment. He was just a man afraid of what he might lose. Cardi B's silent battle. While Diggs unraveled, Cardi B was fighting her own storm, quietly, privately, away from the spotlight that never stops demanding more from her. Those close to her said she tried to be strong. Tried to brush it off. Tried to joke it away. But this time, her body said no. And when Diggs realized how close it came, how fragile everything suddenly felt, his distress turned into something deeper. Guilt. Fear. Love. Desperation. A turning point no one saw coming. By the time Diggs reached her, the shouting was gone. What remained was silence. Tight embraces. Tears that didn't need words. People say he held her like he was afraid she might disappear if he let go. And maybe, he was. Because after that night, nothing felt guaranteed anymore. Why this moment changed everything. Fans expected headlines. They expected drama. They expected chaos. What they didn't expect was vulnerability. Stefon Diggs shouting in distress wasn't weakness, it was proof of something real, something human, something raw beneath the fame and spectacle. And whatever truly happened to Cardi B that night, it reminded everyone watching from the outside that even the loudest stars can suffer quietly, and even the strongest men can fall apart when love is on the line. Broken hearts, some moments don't need confirmation to be felt. And this one? The echo of that shout is still ringing.
도시가 보이곤 해. 그 도시에는 또 다른 내가 하늘에 떠가는 비행기를 올려다보고 있겠지. 난 하늘을 보고 또 다른 나는 아래를 쳐다보고 있겠지. 묘한 짜릿함 그 속에 머물다 보면 어느새 제주 행비행 신비한 세계로 나를 이끌고 거짓말처럼 하늘을 날며 어느새 제주 바다가 내게로 와 있네. 하늘을 보고 또 다른 나는 아래를 쳐다보고 있겠지. 묘한 짜릿함 그 속에 머물다 보면 어느새 제주 행비행 신비한 세계로 나를 이끌고 거짓말처럼 하늘을 날며 어느새 제주 바다가 내게로 와 있네. 난 구름 위를 날고 있어. 아래엔 간혹 도시가 보이곤 해. 그 도시에는 또 다른 내가 하늘에 떠가는 비행기를 올려다보고 있겠지. 난 하늘을 보고 또 다른 나는 아래를 쳐다보고 있겠지. 묘한 짜릿함 그 속에 머물다 보면 어느새 제주 행비행 신비한 세계로 나를 이끌고 거짓말처럼